Right. I think we're good to go. Right. So welcome everybody to the Income Academy, a podcast with your host Clem Horn, where it is my job to connect you with inspiring people who have done extraordinary things and previously unimaginable things to create a lifestyle, business, and a life of their own design. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to present to you today our special guest, Patrick M. Powers. Patrick, are you ready to crush it?
I am ready.
Brilliant. So Patrick this guy's absolute legend when it comes to networking and extracting the best out of people. In 2009, he founded Entrepreneurs in London and built the largest community of entrepreneurs in Europe. Currently 22,000 people in this community, and he only started that with like £70 in his pocket. He's a networking genius. He's been featured on Forbes and on BBC, and he's a very influential person of interest. He's featured on some of the world's most influential business podcasts, such as Entrepreneur on Fire with John Lee Dumas, MLM Nation with Simon Chan, and many, many more. He's a marketing, lead generation, and copywriting expert. He's also author of a book called Turn Your Contacts into Cash and several other business books. He's an international speaker and has shared the stage with Brian Tracy and the like. And Patrick has a unique ability to extract, to look for areas and extract profit from those areas. So the road to success is a bumpy road, and with all success comes a lot of struggles and failures. And Patrick is no stranger to failure. It is through failure that Patrick and that we truly learn how to succeed. But I will let Patrick fill you guys in on that. So Patrick, I know you're a storyteller. So just take a moment from the intro, fill in the gaps, and tell us a little bit more about yourself, your background, who you are, and what you do.
All right. Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Clem. It's always an honor to share my experience and my failures, so people can hopefully avoid some of the same pitfalls that I fell into. Yeah, so I'm born in Denmark, and when I was 21, I started my first business because I just hated being trapped in the rat race and doing the same things over and over again. My only education is a landscape gardener. But, I had this crazy idea that I could become a business person. And I got an interest for holistic health, very, very young age. And wanted to set up a practice as a holistic practitioner. And was using different psychotherapy and body holistic methods. And I loved doing that, but I went bankrupt within a year. I lost my house, lost my car. And then I was looking for ways to start another business, but with less risk. Because I didn't give up my business dreams, but I realized that first of all, there was something that I was missing because I thought it was just about the idea. I had a great idea, and I thought that everybody would just come and buy, and I'll be very successful as a therapist. But that didn't turn out so well. So I started to analyze what went wrong and figured out that I was missing sales and marketing skills. So I started to study marketing like crazy. I was still very, very shy, by the way. So I kind of shied away from sales because I was simply too nervous to go out and talk to people. So I was starting to study marketing, and after many years of studying marketing and getting into many different home-based businesses and failing forward, finally about, what do we have now? It's 2017. This is in... this is 14 and a half years ago now. I made a very, very firm decision that I'm going to succeed now, no matter what. And I went into a network marketing company that was not even in Denmark yet because I'm from Denmark. But I came across this company, and I just instantly know this is a company I'm going to succeed with. And went to England to check it out, just to remove all the last doubt, and then made a commitment to it, and then my life changed forever. Within 9 months, we were 1,000 people in my team, and I basically retired. And within a year, we were 4,500 people. And then that just kept on growing, and I started living the life, moved to the Caribbean and Spain and all kinds of cool places. And the rest is kind of history. But I also made some big errors after that. I sold my position in that company because it kind of became, I don't know, I wanted some new challenges and to go into real business. And I found out about after a year or two of that, oh my God, I made a big mistake because this real business stuff is much less fun, I'm alone doing this all by myself. I don't have anybody to lean on when I'm down. I don't have anybody to learn from. I got to learn everything, and I got to do everything myself. So I've been looking for the right network marketing company to join again. While that was going on, after I sold my position, I moved to Dominican Republic and lived there for a while. Came back to England, started Entrepreneurs in London, the business meetup group, and that kind of took off relatively well in the beginning. But oh man, it was a rocky road because it didn't really have any good income sources back then as Entrepreneurs in London was growing. But finally, about 4 or 5 years ago now, we finally became the biggest business meetup in Europe and started generating some pretty good revenue from ticket sales and from affiliate commissions and from selling my own stuff to all the followers, of course. So that's kind of a very, very, very brief tour de force of how I ended up here now.
So that's a fascinating story. So Entrepreneurs in London is still going strong and it's still growing?
Sure. We're over 22,500 members now. I don't do that many events at the currently because I'm actually launching a new network marketing company here and just really just focusing on that. So, and that's much more my passion. My passion is to help people make breakthroughs. So the events, it was funny enough because, it was, I'm really proud of what we've done with Entrepreneurs in London and it's been amazing for my exposure and to create a lot of followers and fantastic friends. But it was never what I intended to do, and it's not my passion. It's not my passion to run events. My passion is to help people make breakthroughs, and the best vehicle for that that I found is really network marketing. I mean, as a coach, I help people make breakthroughs as well. But with network marketing, so much more effective because you are working with people in the field where they need you the most, to where you can help them implement the changes that they need to make the breakthroughs in their life. So I've become crazy passionate about network marketing. I always liked it, but now it's just like, my God, I mean, some people like poo-poo it a bit and they're like, oh, it's just those small, unemployed women that do it from their own, from the bedroom and whatever, or their kitchen. But man, this is an incredible business. Absolutely unbelievable.
Network marketing has been going for quite some time, and
it's the future, man.
I don't think it's going to go to bed very soon, to be honest.
Sure.
That is very phenomenal. I've from previous conversations with you before, I know you to be a great storyteller. I also know from looking at some of your content and some of the stuff you do, you are an exceptional marketer and networker, especially. I mean, guys, Patrick has been on BBC and on Forbes specifically for this reason, because he's such an exceptional person to network with. And this is how Patrick has gone on to build Entrepreneurs in London, because he's such a great networker. Just a quick, a few tips. One question. I mean, how do you get featured on Forbes? I mean, just out of interest and out of BBC.
That's just pure luck, man. It's just, that is probably, and it's actually kind of pure luck that I got on BBC as well. But I also, to a large degree, I don't really believe in like real luck, because luck occurs when you hustle and when you become an expert in some field, and you really just position yourself as somebody who knows what they're doing. Then those kind of lucky things happen. But with Forbes, one of my friends runs a PR agency, and I hired her to do some PR stuff for me, and she actually managed to get that interview with me on Forbes. So that was pure luck. But the BBC one was kind of funny. It was a funny experience. And if you want to see that, by the way, you go to Google if you want to see something from that interview. It's kind of funny. I hope they air it again. That was aired 3 times on BBC. But what happened is this production company called me and said, hey, we have this program where this amazing businesswoman from the Middle East wants to establish herself here in the UK, and she kind of needs to know how we work here in the UK and get some coaching on the situation so she can adapt to our ways. And it turned out to actually be a comedy program. where I was basically in a situation where, you know, the Borat movie,
Yeah.
the Borat, you know, I was the person where she was the Borat, and I didn't know that, you know, there was something weird going on. But you know, it was a funny situation. But if you go to YouTube and type in Talla Learns to Network, TALLAH Learns to Network, you'll get the clip up with me and her. And you might not be able to recognize me because I'm almost 7 sizes bigger back then. I was huge. I was a size 46 back then.
Yeah.
But it is in fact me.
We'll get into that just in a moment, because you know that comes down to mental challenges that you have to overcome in order to be able to achieve the things you've been able to achieve. Just, you know, I've got a list of questions to ask you, but you know, without having it sound too tinny and too monotone, I'm going to try and keep it as naturally flowing as possible. But just out of interest, right? You know, like for an introverted aspiring entrepreneur to succeed in business, how does the person like that start to network? Seeing as we are on this topic at the moment.
Yeah, networking. Well, networking, first of all, is so important. And you know, I actually only realized maybe a year ago, like truly how powerful it is. Um, Everybody needs to network. Like literally everybody needs to network. And you know, we used to, in the old days, you know, we grew up in small societies and clans where everybody knew each other. This is how we are wired into our DNA that we need to be in a network. But these days we get disconnected from real networks. And sure, we're connected on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, but it's just not the same. I mean, a real network is where you have a heartfelt connection with somebody. And you know them on a much deeper personal level, other than just seeing people's pictures of their cats and you know their vacations and all the perfect shots. But you know them, you know the good stuff and you know the bad stuff about them. A real network, and so it's so powerful. The bigger your network, the easier everything becomes in business and life. You know, and you have a great social network. By the way, there's been many studies of really what determines is the key factor for people's health, and it always comes down to your social network, like literally your social support group that you feel part of a social group. And I'm not talking about Facebook, I'm talking about a real social group. Okay, so it's so important, and I've had amazing things happen because of networking. I got a contract to go to Australia for 6 months and do some amazing things out there, actually building meetup groups out there because of a connection that I created in Entrepreneurs from London. So it just opens doors. So that's number one. You've got to have a network. And in the beginning, it is hard to start doing it. You think, oh, this is too hard and people not responding and whatever. I wish I could just really shake people up and say, you know, just go through it. You have to go through it until it starts working, because it will take a while. So how do you become great at it? Well, you make the first decision that you are going to become great at it. That's the first step. And you will not quit. Right. Number two, learn to listen. Right. This is literally my biggest secrets to networking success is listen to people. Because what it is, most people that go to networking events, they go almost right into a pitch or about what's amazing about them or amazing about their business. And when you think of it, it's kind of ridiculous, because who wants to hear about somebody else? Everybody really doesn't, you know, they don't really want to hear about other people. They want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about what's important to them. So when you start to ask the right questions and listen to people, they will start to build trust in you. And what you also signaling, and this is real key, is to make people feel important and special. And when you listen to people, really listen intently to people, you make them feel important and special. Right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So that is the most important thing that you can learn, is to learn to listen like there's nobody else there in the world other than them at that moment.
Yeah, then that makes the other person feel like truly valuable. I mean, I can certainly say, you know, you're 100% right there. People, when they feel like they are being heard, they feel valued. I mean,
Yeah.
just want to say one thing. Maybe take a bit of a slight change in direction. Robert Kiyosaki he says, successful people build networks. Everybody else looks for a job. What do you say to that?
It's true. I mean, really, literally is. I mean, your network will equal your net worth. And again, the bigger the network, and the funny thing is, the older the network is, it's like good wine. The older it is, the older relationship is, the better it becomes. So people do this. The biggest mistake they do in networking is they go to a group, they try to pitch, and they try to make some sales or whatever. And that networking is not about making sales. It's about creating networks and creating relationships and trust.
Yeah.
And once that trust is there, people will ask themselves, what do you do? Tell me more, So don't try to make sales, try to make friends instead.
That's good. Okay? Provide value first.
Yeah. Don't try to make sales, try to make friends. And, where was it? I think you got sidetracked. What was the beginning of the question?
It was just about, we were talking about networking and then went over into Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah. So networks. Yeah, absolutely. It's just, you got to have networks. That's the only thing I can say, man. You got to have them.
Business is about people. Business is about relationships.
Yeah. Oh, now I know what I wanted to say. So the older the network, the older your relationships, the stronger they are. But also the bigger your network becomes. And this is kind of a weird thing, and it's not necessarily true. But what people perceive is that the bigger your network is, that the smarter you are, or the better you are in your field. Right. So the more people you connected to, the tendencies that people think that you're better at what you do. So that's another reason why you just got to keep on building, and trusting in the process, and trusting that, you're going to build it big enough and strong enough in the relationships that one day this will really pan out to actually be very, very powerful, which it will.
That's great. So at the Income Academy, we're all about personal branding, attraction marketing, lifestyle business, and all sorts of things. One other thing we're really keen on about is the income diversification, and we'll probably focus a bit more on that. If we look at the entrepreneurial scene right now on the internet across the globe and what's currently going on in the market, as entrepreneurs, what patterns do you see in the industry? I mean, in entrepreneurs as people themselves, in businesses across the market, what patterns do you see come to light?
Right. Well, there is this very destructive pattern that you see, and I think it's actually kind of become worse now, and it might be because of social media. There's a lot of business opportunities out there that are, well, let's just put it blunt, they're crap, right? There's either crap or borderline scams. And people that are starting out in business, funny enough, seems to be attracted to those more than the real ones. And I think why they are is because they just make it sound like it's easier, or it's like, you just click this button or do this thing or invest in this thing and you'll be rich overnight without doing any work. And I can understand that from somebody just getting in, and let's say you have these two opportunities. One of them saying, look, we have an amazing opportunity, but you got to work for it. And you have this other thing, I was like, this is an amazing opportunity and you don't have to work for it. Which one are you going to choose? Well, if you're a newbie and you don't know anything better, I understand that you're going to choose the one that seems like the easiest way out. But the reality is that just don't work. You've got to work. You've got to work for success. There is just no shortcuts.
Yeah.
Now, well, I mean, sometimes there are some shortcuts, but I mean, the best shortcut you can do is to get a mentor and a coach. That's the biggest shortcut you can make. Yeah. Because you save like 14 years of struggle. I mean, 14 years of failure in network marketing for me. 14 years. If one company after the other. I got a coach. 6 months later, I was successful.
That's good.
Right? Yeah. So that is a shortcut that is, that works. But the thing about, just buy this thing and push this button or whatever, it doesn't work. And that's a huge trend that I'm seeing, that so many people get involved in. And get involved in something that looks like network marketing, but it's really not, and it's crap. And then they think network marketing is bad because they had a bad experience.
So this is why it's so important for people to do their due diligence on anything really, not just network marketing, but on basically
Absolutely.
on anything really.
Absolutely. 100%.
So just to carry on, that's great. That's absolutely exceptionally great. Obviously, we can't succeed in business without any mentors. And if you would like to, find yourself a mentor, uh, you need to try and find someone who is where you want to be, and then side with that person,
Yeah.
and really, because that's investing in yourself and investing in your future, right?
Yeah.
So, just a question. If question that I hear often when I go to events and so on, I see, there's such a large influx of people wanting to become home-based business owners, lifestyle business owners, work from home, that kind of thing. So, it's not necessarily about, wealth. For a person who's able to replace his income, be at home with his kids, with their kids, their children, for them, that is absolute wealth because they've now created time which they haven't had before. So effectively, time is then the wealth. So, but the question that I hear is, if everybody left their job to become entrepreneurs, we won't have employees anymore. What would you say to that?
It's true, but it will never happen, right? So we don't have to worry about that. It's not going to happen. Most people will still and they'll continue to be trapped in that mindset that they need work because it's an easier way out. It's that the way that we constructed it has so many parables to how to or what's the word I'm looking for, connections to how the animal kingdom works, and that, for example, in Australia, which has been separated by other land masses for millions and millions of years, there's very unique wildlife that's developed there, and the casuar is an ostrich-like bird that actually used to be able to fly.
Mm.
And so why did it stop flying? Well, because it didn't have to. There was no predators in Australia that could kill it, so it didn't have to fly. And so I think we're the same thing, same way as humans. Very, very few humans. And why didn't it continue to fly? That's the key. It didn't continue to fly because it takes a lot of effort to fly. It actually takes a lot of energy. So when there was no need for flying, it stopped doing it, and over millions of years, it's just lost its capability to fly.
Forgot.
And so we are the same. If we don't have to do something, we become lazy, right? If there's an easy way out, most people take the easy way out, and they are happy staying on the ground. They're happy not flying. Now, there are some other people like us. We're entrepreneurs. I believe we're born to fly. We want to fly. We want to put in the extra effort to fly. And that's what we do. But we need to put in that extra effort.
Great.
So I got sidetracked again, man.
I know. We know you're an exceptional storyteller.
Thanks, man.
Just personal branding, attraction marketing, lifestyle business, income diversification. Yeah, just take a very quick moment just to give your input, your advice, your thoughts about those four things. Just to create some of your thoughts for our community.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a great thing to have lots of different income streams. Absolutely, no doubt about it. However, it will be crazy to try to start two businesses at the same time. Just don't do it, because it takes focus to do it. You don't try to learn to trade and do a network marketing company at the same time, or do property or whatever. Just don't do it. Okay. Learn one thing well, and then you can move on to the next thing.
Good.
That's my advice. But definitely for me, I mean, I have one of my friends, he's a very successful trader. It's just not for me. I mean, he has a system that is so ridiculously effective that, he can actually teach somebody to do it in literally like half a day to a day and successfully trade. But I tried it, and you know what? I can't stand sitting in front of a computer looking at graphs. I love working with people, and I love, helping them make breakthroughs. That's what I'm about. So if I have to sit and stare on a computer screen at graphs, I'm just like, oh my God, this is like unbelievably boring. How can anybody stand this, no matter how much they get paid? So you got to find what really gets you. What inspires you. But very importantly, focus on one thing at a time, learn it, become good at it, get some mentors. I would say I wouldn't say stop buying training programs, but if you bought a training program, stop buying another one and another one and another one. Get a coach instead. Because if you bought a training program, it was fairly high end, fairly good training program, and you haven't put it into action, buying another training program is probably not going to help you. Get a mentor, get a coach instead that can help you implement it.
It's great. It's great. So your thoughts on attraction marketing? I would have thought this slots nicely into network marketing, into marketing, into branding yourself, and so on. Just for some people, because not everyone knows what it is. Not everyone knows what attraction marketing is, and there seems to be quite a large push now in the last couple of years for it. I don't know who the founder or the creator of this strategy or approach is, but it seems to really work. What is your take on that?
Sure does. However, I actually don't really believe that is that necessary for the network marketing field, because so the attraction marketing is like you go out and produce content, you show yourself as an expert in your field, and become known. But with network marketing, it's so important that you have a model that is so easy to duplicate, like literally so like dead easy that anybody can do it, and they can do it from the first day. So it still is the old-fashioned way that really works in network marketing, which is contact your friends. Look, you're just gonna get 2 or 3 friends on board, and then help them do the same thing. So attraction marketing is definitely very, very powerful, but I don't believe in it for the network marketing field. For the rest of the business field, absolutely. You got to be out there, and you got to sell yourself. Lots of people will come and say, "Oh, we should be putting money into branding," and I said, "Forget about branding right now. Become good at being on video, right? Because video marketing is the future. You got to sell yourself as the owner of the company. First, people have to trust you. When they trust you, they will trust your brand."
True.
Right? So I would say, instead of investing a lot of money in design and fancy logo, whatever, I would invest money in getting a training on presentation skills and become good in front of a camera, and investing some money or time and effort into start producing some content for YouTube video, or like you're doing right now with Facebook Lives and so on. That's where the future is going.
That's good. That's very good. TIA Nation, I hope you're taking some notes here from the from Patrick. It is the future. Video marketing is the future. I also know about people who have built successful businesses using merely video. So yeah, take some notes from Patrick here today.
I'm telling you guys, like if you don't become comfortable of being on screen, and the future is going to look like, I'll just tell you, like it will in most fields. I mean, there might be some fields where you don't really need it, but in most fields, man, it's much more today about selling your personality than it's ever been, and it'll just continue that trend.
Okay. Just to continue on, I just want to ask you quickly your best entrepreneurial moment and your worst entrepreneurial moment, and what have you learned from either of the two, or from both of the two? So I mean, one great moment was absolutely successful, you can remember to this day, and one moment which was terrible, but you learned something phenomenal from that.
It's easy to remember. It's easy to remember the horrible ones. I think, at least for me. So, and I'm not sure I learned so much from the most horrible ones. Okay, so this is actually, I guess, looking back, you can learn something from what happened, not necessarily in the moment, but looking back at something, you learn something, because just like the speech with Steve Jobs, putting together the dots, you only need to
Yes.
put together the dots looking back.
Good.
So my first bankruptcy, that was a horrible experience, and it was towards the end of the road for me with that business, and for my house, I couldn't pay my mortgage, so I knew that I was going to get evicted, or not evicted, that my house was going to get foreclosed on, and I literally went. Also, it was November. It was in Denmark. It was cold, of course, in November in Denmark, and I was running out of oil to heat the house. It was an oil heated system, and I owed all the oil companies money, so I couldn't buy any more oil. So what do? Well, I had like a fireplace, and I had a little bit of wood in the garden, so I started using that. But I ran out of that wood also relatively quickly. And so what do? Well, I was at the end in the road, and I was so desperate, and so I actually chopped up my bed, which was made of wood, and used it to heat my bedroom, sleeping on the mattress on the floor for 2 nights. And I literally cried myself to sleep. I was I felt so alone, so desperate. Like I didn't know where I was going to go next, what it was going to become of me. And I was so embarrassed as well to tell my friends and my family, look, I'm going bankrupt. I, can't pay my mortgage. So that was my worst entrepreneurial moment, that no doubt. And again, at that point, I didn't really learn anything from that. But what I've learned later on is that you only make that event a big deal. It only becomes a big deal if you make it a big deal, right? And I made it a big deal. I didn't think, I thought I lost something. So you need to look at what you gained from the experience, right? What did you gain from the experience? And then just charge on. So what I learned later on is like, look, I wasted so much time moaning about that, that I went bankrupt, and complaining about it, and putting myself down as like, wow, how can I be so stupid? And why didn't I succeed? And all these negative things going on. And that has just absolutely no positive effect on your life. You simply need to look at, what do you want and how do you get it?
Mm.
So just brush yourself off. That's something I learned from Brian Tracy, by the way.
Yep.
He keeps talking about that all the time. Successful people, they think about 2 things all the time. What do they want and how do they get it? That's it. And it's a very, very valuable mindset. If you can keep that focus, no matter what happens, no matter, it's just, everything is falling apart around you, you just focus on, what do I want and how do I get it?
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. I like that. What do you want and how do you get it? That is something that I'm probably going to take home with me. That's
And just have that complete focus, because once you focus on what you want and how you get it, that word "how" is so powerful. It literally switches on the creativity in your brain. If you keep on focusing on it enough, it's like you're sending a signal to your subconscious, like, this is important. This is important. How do I find out? How to get out of this situation? How do I create an income of, let's say, £4,000, or how do I come up with £1,000 to pay my bills now? There's complete autofocus and faith, not panic, but just faith. This will happen, and then walk towards that goal with complete faith that it's going to happen.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Just quickly before we move on to the next topic. So, with that in mind, failure. What does failure mean to you now? After making so many mistakes and learning from all your failures, what does failure mean to you now? I mean, does it make you feel less? Does it make you feel more? Does it make you feel powerful? What does a failure mean to you right now?
Well, failure sometimes when you're in the middle of it, it sucks. But again, you just have faith. You got to have faith that this is something that's part of your journey, and that is just a learning experience. You can take tremendous learning from failure. So that's what, I don't really label a situation where I didn't succeed as failure, but I label it as a learning experience. I try to see what I can learn from it, and just say, look, this is part of life. Failure is part of life, but you can choose how you view that and what you get out of it. And to get the most out of it, you need to choose to look at it like this is something I can learn from. What can I learn from this? And then how can I move on the fastest?
That's good. That's very good. We're just going to take a little swing to what we call the knowledge round. I think Johnny Dumas had what they call the lightning round. This is very much similar, the same thing, but it's a knowledge round. This is a round where you drop some knowledge bombs on the basis of on the back of some questions that I ask.
Okay.
So are you ready for that?
I'll try. I'm a little bit tired today because I had a long day yesterday and a big event and did a talk. But let's hope my brain is up for it.
Won't be long. Don't worry about it. So Tony Robbins talks about priming and preparing your mind and your body for a state of certainty and success. What do you do to keep yourself certain and keep your state of mind in a state of success?
That's a fantastic question. I do a lot of meditation in the morning. I have a program with what's his name? I'll text that to you later on so you can share that with your community. But I listen to this program most mornings actually, and it's about half an hour to 40 minutes to really program my mind to get into constantly doing anchoring with NLP techniques to create that certainty. You get into a state of certainty and you think about what it is that you want in the future while you're in that state of certainty. Oh. So I do that constantly. Brilliant. And there's another thing that I've recently, I read a book or listened actually to an audio book on audible.com called The 5-Second Rule. Mm. And I can't recommend that book enough. Have you read it?
No, I've not read it, but I heard of it.
Okay, it is just phenomenal. It is just so phenomenal. So the 5-second rule, it's just so simplistic that people think, oh, this is like, why would this work? But the reality is it works. And it's basically, I can condense that whole book down to like 10 seconds. You want to hear it?
Yeah, go on.
All right. Whatever it is you want to do that you kind of procrastinating on, you just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right? Wow. And, again, it sounds so simplistic, but I guarantee you when you listen to that book, you will find out how you implement that into your life and make it so powerful. So basically the whole basis of it is forget about trying to be motivated. Don't try to get into don't wait to take action until you feel like it, until you feel motivated, because you might never do that. So take that action no matter how you feel about it, if you know that's the right action to take. Great. Right? And this lady, Mel Robbins, she completely transformed her life with this rule. And now she's like super famous coach and very wealthy. And
I know Mel Robbins. Yeah, very good.
Incredible story. And it really, really, really does work. So that's another thing that I'm doing is like, once I get into these situations, to create certainty, you take massive action. The more massive action you take, the more certainty and belief you create in yourself. Massive action is almost a cure-all for all problems.
That's good. That's good. That's very good. Just quickly, so what most inspires you to get out there and go and crush it? I mean, what gets you up? I mean, I know you do meditation and so on, but I mean, what's that thing that you focus on that actually helps you and propels you forward? For me, it's my family, my kids and my wife and so on. What is it for you?
Okay, so it's definitely my dream of financial security and peace of mind. So, once I was building my network marketing business and I had, the 10,000 people in my team, I never worried about money. It was just the most amazing thing to wake up in the morning and never have a worry. You just complete peace of mind. And so that's what was driving me to get back to that state again, where I can play. I can just play for a living, right? Have fun, make a difference in other people's lives, like helping other people make that breakthroughs that they require to create the life of their dreams. But also what really inspires me is just hearing stories about other people that has overcome great challenges. So I listen to a lot of YouTube videos about people that's overcome great challenges. And what really inspires me also, and kind of pulls me up, if I'm a little bit lazy, I gotta admit that sometimes, I've overcome the nervousness of calling people, and I don't have any resistance calling people. But some days, complacency takes over, and I get a little bit lazy. But what really inspires me now is that I have a team that I'm responsible to, right? So when I signed them up in my team, I made a commitment to them, and I'm going to take that commitment very, very seriously. So So it inspires me that they still have their dreams that they want to achieve, and that I can help them do that. So like somebody calls me and say, hey, I need your help. That inspires me to kick ass and take it to the next level.
That's good. That's good. Second to last, what digital tools are you using to make your life simpler?
Evernote.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I love Evernote. I love Zoom.
Okay.
Zoom is great because I don't need to run around doing as many personal meetings anymore. I can do them over Zoom.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's two great things. And of course, my phone is, it's amazing how the phone can help you get more organized.
That's good.
Oh, and Excel, actually, lately I started to use Excel to keep track of my prospects. When I talk to them, when to follow up, and so on and so on.
That's good. That's good. Right, Patrick, just before we end it there, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. We had a bit of a delay in the beginning, but so on. Just so people can know where to find you, how can we get hold of your stuff? I mean, I'm sharing your link and so on, so we can actually get hold of your website and so on. But if people want to get in touch with you, reach out to you, what's the best place to get hold of you?
Facebook. So it's facebook.com/Patrick M. Powers.
Okay.
Don't bother go about liking my page. Well, you can like my Facebook page as well, but I'm almost never there. I'm on my personal profile. That's what I use. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and LinkedIn as well, but I'm almost never there.
Okay. Facebook Messenger and your personal profile page.
Yeah. Yes.
That's fantastic. Patrick, listen, we're going to end it there. I know you're tired and so on, but I want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity for you to be able to come to this interview. And
you're welcome, man.
Thank you so
much. It's awesome what you're doing. People need the inspiration to go out and create better dreams and create better lives and create their dreams. There's so many people that live lives of quiet desperation that don't have to. They really, really don't have to. There's so many ways today that you could get out of the rat race and create those dreams. And lots of people think, I could never do that. But, if I, as a shy, introverted taxi driver from Copenhagen, can make it big, then I almost guarantee you can as well.
That's fantastic. TIA Nation, we're clocking off tonight. I hope you take some notes and so on. And you can find Patrick on Facebook and link up with him. He's a phenomenal guy and an amazing person. Patrick, I hope to meet you in person one day at some networking events. But for now, I think we call it a night, and you have a good rest.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.